It's time to get inside the Giants huddle.
Let's go, back to your hub.
On Giants.com.
Tempo.
And the Giants mobile app.
Go.
Part of the Giants podcast network.
Yeah.
Welcome to the newest edition of the Giants Huddle podcast. I'm John Schmeelk. Today I'm going to be joined by three Giants safeties. Second-year safety Xavier McKinney. Last year's big free agent addition Logan Ryan. And Jabrill Peppers. But first, a reminder, you can find the Giants Huddle podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms. If you're an Apple Podcast, please leave a 5-star positive review on the Giants mobile app at giants.com/podcast. All right, let's get to it. Let's start off with Jabrill Peppers. He is the longest tenured Giant of this group, and he talked about heading into Patrick Graham's system in year number 2. And now we're joined by Giant safety Jabrill Peppers. Pat, man, how are you? It's good to see you.
Man, I'm good. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing great. All right, let's talk about it here. This is, you're heading into the second year now under Patrick Graham.
Yep.
What kind of steps do you think fans can think about seeing from your guys as a group that you've been in the system now for a second straight year?
Well, I think that, the comfortability, guys playing better together because now we know how certain guys play, what their best positions are, and just hope to build on the continuity, man. Like you said, it's a year in the system, so we're more familiar with it. It's more things we can do now. But, PG's defense is always going to be, excited, multiple. So I think the fans can expect a lot more of that.
See, it's funny. Now I'm going to ask you almost like the opposite question because I think the first one's valid, but this one is too. This damn thing changes so much week to week. Mm-hmm. How much carryover is there really because your opponents are going to be a little bit different?
Well, yes, the schematics change week to week, but, the foundations, those remain the same. And, I think we built a good foundation, that we can, build upon. But, like you said, man, every week is going to be different. Every guy might be asked to do a different task, depending on the week and depending on his matchup. So, I think that's the fun part of it because, I don't think teams can really get a beat on what you're doing because, we're changing up so much on the week-to-week basis to them. But to us, it might be minor tweaks. But on film, it definitely looks like, a completely new defense. So, man, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. The guys here have been doing a good job of that, man. So I don't think that's going to be an issue.
When you talk about the foundation, without giving away any state secrets, what is the foundation? Is it just playing the right technique based on the position that you're playing in the defense? When you say the foundation stays the same, what's the foundation?
I guess without giving away too much, being great football position and condition,
eyes and feet in the right place, right?
Absolutely, things like that. That's really all I'll say on that.
And that's all I was looking for. That's perfect. Otherwise, Joe Jojo will throw me off the top of the stadium. It's fine. I would rather avoid that. All right. You talk about learning what position guys, are best at. And I think what makes your group of safety so special is that you have guys that can do so many different things, right? Logan was a corner, so he can obviously play the slot. He can play deep safety, you saw him play there. Julian Love played outside corner to close the season. He can play deep safety. Yep. You can play any spot. Xavier McKinney, the guy was out all year. He comes in. One day he's playing deep. The next day he's playing all slot. Mm-hmm. Your ability to move around, how does that lend towards being able to change and disguise each week to confuse your opponent?
That's one of the biggest parts of it, and most of these quarterbacks in the league are pretty good at identifying things. So, we take it upon ourselves to just challenge those guys. Don't give them nothing till post snap if we can. But in this defense, guys are required to be multiple. He want guys that can do a bunch of different things at a high level. And I think that's what really separates us as a secondary group. I think we have a lot of guys who can play multiple positions where we don't have to make substitutions, but they can be playing a completely different position with a completely different new job, from the last play. And I think that gives quarterbacks, a hard time, trying to identify what it is that we're doing.
And then specifically with you, right? Like a team will look at the personnel on the field, like, all right, the Giants are in dime. But then hold on a second, you watch the tape, you're like, oh, but Jabrill's basically a nickel linebacker in this defense. Mm-hmm. Did you enjoy playing that role where you could be a nickel linebacker once, a dime DB the next?
Absolutely, man. That's kind of what I did in college. So, it definitely felt good to get back, to my roots. And, I just want to build on that.
Interesting. All right, so now as you head into this year now, what do you think the major goals are for your defense in terms of where you think you can get better specifically?
We just got to improve, man. I'm not going to get, too into specifics,
Sure.
but, we definitely want to be better this year than we were last year, both as a defense and individually. That starts now with, perfecting your craft and, mastering your techniques, getting in great football condition. But, we have a tough schedule coming up, so, we're excited about it.
One specific scheme thing, last thing I want to ask you about. How helpful is it to your defense, back to the disguise thing, to be able to start with 2 safeties deep and then kind of go from there because you can trust your front to stop the run?
Yep.
Because it's a lot harder to disguise, right, when that second safety has to be at the
In
line.
box, yep.
So can you talk a little bit about how that just starting in the 2 safety shell,
yeah,
how you
that-
can kind of do everything off of that?
That's just a testament to our D-line and our linebackers. They do a great job eating up the gaps, 2-gapping, playing big in there, spilling things. As long as the ball goes east and west, you're playing pretty good against the
You
run.
can close on it,
Yeah,
right? Mhm.
Yeah. So, I those big guys up front do a hell of a job and make our jobs a hell of a lot easier. And showing that 2 shell, that presents problems because it's so many things we can do from there. And especially if we're really good on our disguise and we're holding it till post snap, that'll make reads on the quarterback a lot harder.
And I think we saw that on the field last year. We look forward to seeing it again. Pep,
Yes,
good
sir.
stuff, man.
Yes,
Great
sir.
seeing you.
Thank you.
That's Giant safety Jabrill Peppers. Don't forget, limited Giant season tickets are on sale now for the 2021 season. In addition to ticket savings, membership benefits include access to exclusive events, experiences, pre-sales, and more. Lock in your seat starting at just $100. Call 888-NYG-1925 or visit Giants.com/tickets for more information. All right, let's get to our next guest. He is Logan Ryan. He was acquired by the Giants at the end of training camp last year. He played mostly safety for the first time in his career. I talked to Logan about signing that contract extension with the Giants and joining the team once again in 2021. All right, and now we're joined by Giants defensive back Logan Ryan. Logan, first of all, it's good to see you in person, man. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm great. Doing great. Love this time of year, everyone getting back together and getting back to it, so I'm excited.
We haven't spoken. Congratulations on the long-term contract, by the way. Happy to have you here for the long term. So let's talk about that. Why was it so important for you to kind of be here long-term and be a foundational piece for the Giants here moving forward?
Easy question, man. This is where I'm from. I didn't grow up too far from here. I played college football not too far from here. So I'm Jersey born and raised, and the opportunity to play home and with this organization, the people here and the pieces we have, I wanted to be a part of it.
In year number 2, what can we expect from this defense in terms of taking that next step, being in the same system for the second straight year?
I mean, and time will tell. I expect great things. I expect great things for myself. I think people got to understand that last year was my first year playing the safety position and really was doing it on the fly, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And I think I found a home here, and I think I've been doing a lot of work in the offseason, really crafting my body and my mind to play the position, to know the opportunities, to go out there and get the ball for the defense, go bring the ball back to our explosive offense we're going to have. So big things are ahead.
Well, let's talk about it. What did you work on this offseason to make that full-time shift over to safety?
I reached out to a lot of great safeties. I reached out to a lot of former players, a lot of former Giants. Jason Sehorn, Antrell Roll, spoke about some of their plays they made in their day, what it means to be a great safety for the Giants, and I want to be in that same sense with them one day. I want to take that role not only as a player but as a leader and a captain on the team. So I take it really. I take a lot of pride in it, and I want to bring pride to the Giants fan base. I want to bring pride to the position. I want to bring pride to the players that came before me. So really just reaching out, picking their brains on plays I can make and some things that they did to make it easier for me.
And it seems to me that the versatility of the safety position and the players you guys have at it in this defense are just essential to everything you do, where every one of you guys can do different things. You can reduce into the slot, so can X. You guys can play deep. Pep can be a nickel linebacker. He can be a dime defensive back. Julian Love was playing outside cornerback in week 17. He can play safety. Can you just talk a little bit about, from a schematic perspective, having a group like that can do so many different things allows you to run that type of complex coverage system you guys run in the back end?
Yeah, well, that's a great insight, and that's true. I think we're very versatile players. I don't think you have your traditional strong safety, free safety that you see in football of old. And I think football's changing. I think offensive players are like running back with the ball in their hands. Tight ends are like receivers nowadays. So now you need the defensive personnel to match up. And I think our safety room has that personnel to match up. And I think we can be as good as anybody, depending on the work we put in. And we all love playing together. So, like I said, with it, there's a role for all of us on the defense, and we all support each other. And Pat Graham is a great defensive caller, and he's going to build the defense around the players he has. And if we have some strength at that position, the defense is going to be built around us a little bit, and we're excited for that opportunity.
You know, in the one position, I think, in the secondary last year that seemed to change a lot was that second cornerback spot, right? Guys are moving in and out, injuries, things like that. Now, the guy that was with you down there a couple minutes ago, here comes Adoree Jackson, right? With his experience, his ability to play a lot of man-to-man, does that even open up more possibilities for the array of different things you guys can do as a secondary?
100%. I mean, the more you want to play with great players. I don't care who you are. It makes your job easier. It makes my job easier having Adoree out there, having Bradbury out there. Adoree's a great player, a great guy. We've known each other a long time. Our history has been well documented. Great friend of mine. I'm happy he's up here to play ball with me. And he can do a lot of things, and he definitely can expand what we do on defense because he's that talented of a player, and it could unlock some of our other players' talents. And honestly, you need depth in this league. You need depth to play 17 games. You never know. It's hard to stay healthy throughout. That's the battle in this league is durability. So the more pieces we have, the more guys we can bring in the game. At the position makes it easier for everybody.
And what does it do for a secondary to be able to mix in maybe more man-to-man when you trust so many more cornerbacks to take a guy and cover him, and as a safety knowing that, all right, maybe we don't have to shift to one side of the field a little bit and you can trust those guys to do their job in that man-to-man situation?
Yeah, I mean, look, man-to-man, I mean, it's not as simple as, hey, we got another player, let's play man-to-man. That makes our defense a lot more basic. So,
of course.
Honestly, it's going to be wrinkles as always, and I think that games are won and lost in situational football. That's fourth quarter, that's 2-minute. That's got to have its scenarios. And when you go out there, what do you see? You see teams playing all their defensive backs out there. You see teams putting all their receivers, all their skill players out there. And they got to go down in 2 minutes and go score a play, and the defense got to get a stop to end the game. We had many games like that last year. Now we have better skill players on both sides of the ball for those situations. And you got to play man-to-man in those situations. When your back's against the line, it's me against him. I got to stop this guy. This guy's got to get it on me. And that's how this game is won and lost in this league. So we have some guys now. And we have some great scheme to go out there and win in those situations a little bit more.
One thing I thought you guys did great last year, Logan, was preventing the big play. Why do you think your group was so good about not letting the offense get behind you?
It's our job. The quickest way to lose a football game is to get it thrown over your head. I hear about the debate all year long. I sit there on my couch in the off season and play with my kids and train early mornings, and I hear about pass rush versus secondary. What's more important? Where do you allocate the dollars, right? Well, I'll tell you what, the quickest way to lose a game in the NFL is to get the ball thrown over somebody's head. So Joe Judge has a really smart saying, you can't start winning until you stop from losing. So with getting the ball thrown deep, giving up deep passes is the quickest way to lose. So we want to prevent that. It gives us a better shot to win.
Logan, we look forward to it. We look forward to seeing you back on the field. Thank you so much for the time, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys.
That's Giant safety Logan Ryan. Don't miss it on your chance to experience a premier hospitality experience watching Giant games and world-class concerts in 2021 as a Giant Suite partner. Limited full-season locations are available or place a deposit for individual games. Call 888-NYG-1925 or visit Giants.com/suites for more information. All right, let's get to Xavier McKinney, last year's second-round draft pick. Missed most of last year with an injury, played the final month. He's looking forward to 2021.
X, let's start here. You finally got on the field after the bye. I'm sure you were just itching and dying to do it. How valuable was it to actually finally get on the field and be in that full-speed NFL environment to your development?
Yeah, it was definitely fun. It was something I was looking forward to. I missed the majority of the season, missed a lot of camps. So just to get back out there with my teammates, be able to compete and provide, the help where I could on the defense and on the team was really something I was looking forward to. So it was fun when I got back out there.
What were some of the things you learned that maybe you didn't know before actually getting on the field and experiencing everything you were learning firsthand?
Yeah, I think I would say the biggest thing for me was probably situational football, just being out there, knowing where you were, like on the field, out on the field, kind of what plays they were going to do. So I think, that was something that I didn't know before. Obviously, we talked about it. We went over it. But when I actually got out there, I could actually see and kind of visualize the different things that they were doing in different parts of the field.
Now, one thing I thought they're going to do with you is, all right, the guy's coming in here. He hasn't been here all year. Let's stick him in one spot and let him be an expert in one thing. Nope. one week you're playing center field. The next week you're playing the slot.
Yeah.
Was it fun to kind of just say, all right, we trust you. You know, 1 week we're going to ask you to do this. 1 week we're going to ask you to do that.
Yeah, no, it was fun, man. You know, that's something that I pride myself in being is really versatile. That's something that, you know, I've always spoke about. That's something that I've always done my whole career. So it wasn't, you know, that crazy of an adjustment for me. Just knowing that I was in there for the meetings, you know, every day, even when I was hurt. I was making sure I knew all the spots. And honestly, when I came back, I didn't know what spot that I was going to be in. So, you know, once they kind of plugged me in different places, I had already, you know, learned and knew kind of what I had to do. So, you know, I pride myself in just making sure that I pay attention to the little details. So, in whatever spot I play in or whatever spot they want to play me in, then I'm able to get it fast.
Was there a spot that either you enjoyed more, were more comfortable in, or you thought you were better at?
No, actually, I always get that question. I like playing.
Yeah,
I like playing all.
I asked you that same question when you came out of college.
Yeah, no, I like playing. I like playing all the positions. Like I said, I think I could play at a high level at all of them. So for me, it's just getting it down, getting some reps in, and going out there and being able to execute.
Well, what were some of the fun things you got to do, and some of the important things they teach you guys about being that deep center fielder in a defense like the one that the Giants run? Now, I know the scheme can be different every week, so it might be different based on the opponent. Yeah. What are some of the key things that you have to be good at in order to be that good, consistent deep center fielder?
I think the biggest thing is probably the thing that they preach the most is being the deepest of the deepest. So obviously you don't want anybody to get behind you. But that, and also for me, I try to work on my breaks, just getting out of my breaks quickly, trying to get from point A to point B as fast as I can and make that play. So I think that is what contributes to making anybody a good middle of the field player.
How much different is it trying to read an NFL quarterback and what he's going to do as opposed to a college quarterback and what they're going to do?
Yeah, no, it's definitely very different. I think I did get a little help, though, when I was at Bama. Obviously, I had Tua, I had Mac, so those are NFL caliber. I had Jalen, too, so, you know, I got to experience that some in college. So it helped me a lot. They were very advanced at what they were doing, so but it's definitely a huge difference as far as opponents. Like the opponents that I had in college, like QB wise, way different than obviously the NFL quarterback. The reads are a lot faster. They're a lot smarter. They read coverages a lot faster. So
and they try to move you around.
Exactly,
with their eyes,
they try
right?
to move you around, look you off, and stuff like that. So just kind of being able to be tested by them is actually great because it helps you as a player, makes you improve.
I got to imagine for your specific position specifically, especially that you're asked to do a lot of different things. How much did you learn about film study in the NFL and how important it is and how more advanced it is even in college? I know Logan is a guy that kind of brought everybody in and kind of tried to teach you guys those things as a rookie, just learning film study, how to watch film properly, and just how important it is.
Yeah, I think it's always been really important for me. You know, coming from where I came from college wise, you know, film was a big thing. I always used to think like I was a really good film watcher. And then once I got in the league, I kind of realized like it's all the little things that count. So just kind of the borderline baseline stuff is it kind of doesn't mean anything because a lot of different stuff can happen until you start looking at you know, diving deeper into what's actually being done, where it's being done at on the field. So once I got here, obviously my coaches helped me with that. My teammates helped me with that, just become a better film watcher and being able to figure out and dissect, you know, different things in different plays.
Xavier, appreciate the time, my friend.
Yeah, appreciate you.
We thank Xavier McKinney. We thank Jabrill Peppers. We thank Logan Ryan for joining us on this episode of the Giants Huddle podcast. And folks, remember, if you know friends that are Giant fans, tell them about the podcast. The more subscribers we have, the better off we are. The more we can do, the more resources we get because more people are listening. For our group of safeties, I'm John Schmeelk. Thanks for joining us on the Giants Huddle. We will see you next time, everybody.